Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Film Snobbery Live. I'm your host, the film snob Nic Baisley, and I have a great show for everyone today. We got it jam-packed. Joining me tonight, we have a variety of people. Our first guest is going to be Rick Vaicious, who's going to be coming on. He's the director of the FlyWay Film Festival. He's going to be coming on talking about his film festival and some of the great things that they're doing for filmmakers over there. We also have another segment of indie horror by our good friend BJC from dayofwoman.com, and we then have another segment of Drunk on Film by our good friend the Vocabularist from moviecynics.com. I'm joined as usual by my co-host Jerry Cavallero, director of Stuck Like Chuck. We're going to be talking a little bit later about a couple of things, time permitting, and that's really about it, but a really big jam-packed show. So we just want to get right on into it. First thing we want to do is we want to make sure that everyone, if you haven't already, I want to make sure that everyone checks into their Miso app, and if you don't have the app on either your iPhone or your Android. If you don't have your app on either your iPhone or your Android, you can go to www.gomiso.com. Make sure you check into Film Snobbery Live, because they actually just released an update. Now they have trending, and you can check into specific episodes. We're trying to also figure out how to actually do the specific episodes from our end to make sure that they're listed. I don't know how you would do it either ahead of time or whatever, but we're going to get that set up for them. But still, check on in with it, because we want to make sure that everyone knows that you're watching us, so it helps spread the word on there. So again, if you don't have the Android or iPhone app for Miso, go to www.gomiso.com and sign up for that today and check on in with us. So let's go get started. Our first guest that we're going to have tonight is Rick Vaicious, and he is the director of the FlyWay Film Festival. You can go check it out at some more details on the festival at flywayfilmfestival.org. It's coming up. It's coming up soon, October 21st through the 24th. They're also running a Kickstarter campaign right now. We're going to talk about a little bit of that when we get back. But first, we got a little clip from our friends of ours who actually introduced Rick and I online via Twitter. Kings of Fink, Julie and Jessica, who do the Peep Show column here at Film Snobbery. If you haven't checked them out recently, they just did a phenomenal interview with Joanna Angel, who runs BurningAngel.com. Great site, great actress and director, and Kings of Fink did a really good job with the interview too. So that's great. We're going to cut over to their, they have a little clip here talking about the FlyWay Film Festival as well, and we're going to be right back with our first guest, Rick Vaicious, in a couple of minutes. So stick around.
Hey, Julie, we gotta make that video for FlyWay.
Are you kidding? We leave in like a week and a half to film Tilt, and we still have to make that schedule?
Okay. What should we do?
I don't know. Why don't you do something with that video we made for Aunt Sophie or something? Just figure it out.
Okay, I don't know exactly what she wants from me, but I'll do my best.
Happy
Third Film Fest, FlyWay.
Julie's great Aunt Sophie. 11 candles, one for every decade she's been alive. Jessica and I are so sorry we couldn't come
For your fest the last 2 years.
tell you that we love you very much, and that we're so excited
To support you in your Feed the Dream Kickstarter campaign.
are coming to celebrate your 110th birthday.
I thought it was a surprise.
It is a surprise.
But then why are you saying it now?
Because we're recording it, and then my dad's going to play this at the party next week.
But I thought you said that Sophie couldn't see or hear anything.
She can't, but she'll know that we care.
Oh, okay.
"110 years old. I still remember when
We heard all about your fest on Twitter from filmmakers like Gary King and Jamin and Keela Winans.
telling me that I should move more to burn off my baby fat. That's not supposed to be funny.
It's not. You're right. It's not funny. Actually, it's scary. And quite frankly, your great Aunt Sophie scares me.
We're going to have to cut this out now.
I know.
I'll never forget all of the wonderful
films that have shown as FlyWay,
my life. Like
the Zombie Girl documentary,
me that I shouldn't wear a seatbelt when I'm out on a date, or when you
Dead Snow,
about baseball so that I'd have something to talk about with boys, or
New York Lately,
keep my hair kind of long so that no one would ever mistake me for my sister's big brother.
She said that to you?
She was only trying to help. So here's what I hope for you.
Rick Vaicious and FlyWay Films,
I hope
that you reach your $5,000 Kickstarter goal,
happy life. I hope
that you're able to keep this an entry-fee fest,
all the time. And I hope
and that you reach $3,000 in funding as soon as possible so that you can announce the super secret event you have planned for Kickstarter backers only.
in this whole world,
What's the matter?
nothing. It's just, I love
FlyWay Film Fest.
Sophie so much.
I know you do. I know you do. Happy birthday,
FlyWay Film Fest.
Aunt Sophie.
3 years of FlyWay.
That is a lot of years.
FlyWay Film Fest is the best film festival in Pepin, in Wisconsin, in the United States of America, as a matter of fact, in the whole wide world.
We're back, everybody. I want to welcome warmly to the show tonight Mr. Rick Vaicious. Hello, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on the show tonight. Do greatly appreciate it. I know it was a little short notice, but whenever our good friends Julie and Jessica, Kings of Fink, say, hey, you should have someone on, I make room. So.
Well, and I really want to thank Julie and Jessica for doing that video. We're all about recycling at FlyWay, and we're happy that they didn't have to send that video to the great video landfill outside of Chicago somewhere.
So tell us a little bit about the FlyWay Film Festival. What are the origins of this? And you're in your third year now. Kind of, tell us a little bit about the challenges you've had along the way, and kind of what the mission of this festival is.
Well, FlyWay is really has grew out of the monthly screening program at the Lake Pepin Art and Design Center, which for the last 4 years has been the parent organization of the FlyWay Film Festival. The Lake Pepin Art and Design Center is a community arts organization based in Pepin, Wisconsin. And a little over 4 years ago, we started screening independent and international films on a monthly basis. We had the opportunity to bring a bunch of filmmakers into the community, screen their work, and, to a person, each and every one of them said it would be a great setting, great community for a film festival. So that was really the origin. We decided to take the plunge, and with the help of regional filmmakers and other people that had run other types of festivals in the past, we outlined FlyWay, and we decided to be a fee-free festival for filmmakers to submit work. And that really our mission is to support those truly independent filmmakers that are not associated with the studio system, and bring as many of them into our community as possible, and provide them with a place to exhibit and have their work appreciated by an audience.
Now, what was your thought process in going about making the festival free for filmmakers for submissions? And have you been getting a lot of submissions because of that, or is there a difference in the quality of the films that you're getting? I mean, take us through a little bit of the reasoning behind all that.
Well, the reason why FlyWay is free for filmmakers to submit is because those filmmakers that we consulted with early on said, we're pouring our heart and soul into the piece of art that we're trying to create, only to have to come up with another several $1,000s to get their films into other festivals, or if they want to produce DVDs or get films out in the world in other ways. And so part of the mission of the Lake Pepin Art and Design Center is to support the work of emerging artists. And so in keeping with that, the decision was taken early on to keep FlyWay free for filmmakers to submit.
And what would you say that the experience at the film festival is like? It's multiple days. It's coming up October 21st through the 24th. And do you take us through a little bit of like the let's call it the festival culture that you have there? I mean, is it located? Are all the screenings located in one place? Is it spread out a little bit? Do you guys usually do the panels and workshops that are usually or they have at festivals? Do you guys have the after parties and all that kind of stuff? What's it like? If I'm a filmmaker, first time going there, what can I expect to see?
Well, the first thing that you can expect is that you'll be very warmly welcomed by the community. The community is very much in support of the festival. We really try to roll out the welcome mat for everyone. We have an opening night party where everybody is welcome to come and have free food and free drinks, and we have local chefs from the area preparing truly outstanding food for our guests, and that's part of what the culture of FlyWay has become. There's a really awesome food community in our area with great cafes and restaurants. The hospitality industry is really critical in helping us pull off, such an outstanding and welcoming event. And then, the screenings are intimate. We screen at two venues. One venue is the Lake Pepin Art and Design Center Gallery, which seats 80 for a film. And the other venue is the historic Stockholm Opera House in Stockholm, Wisconsin, which is home of the Wide Spot Performing Arts Center, and that seats 150. Huh. So, two very small venues, which provides for a very intimate and, in many ways, interactive experience for the filmmakers. And then we will, again, this year, have a free exchange of ideas with filmmakers and festival attendees and other interested artists that will be steered by Kelly Baker and Sherry Candler and John Gann. And we hope that all the filmmakers that are coming to FlyWay will be in attendance. That event usually happens over lunch. It's a very informal atmosphere, and like I said, it's a free exchange of ideas. It's not a formal panel. Kelly and Sherry and John will be there to help steer the discussion in a large way, but not really to talk micro details, or in some cases, like some panels where you get 4 or 5 people on a dais and they're all kind of touting themselves and patting each other on the back. This is designed to be a truly interactive experience and a collegial atmosphere for filmmakers and their peers to get together and exchange ideas with experts.
No, and I really respect that. I mean, it's I've never been a huge fan of the panel format in most cases, only because you want to interact with the audience, and most of the time the way that a lot of those panels are set up just aren't conducive to that. But it sounds like you're kind of trying to, for lack of a better term, break the fourth wall for the panelists who aren't necessarily talking to themselves really, but they're actually interacting with the audience, and the audience is more part of the panel versus, or the discussion versus just a lecture. And I like that. That's good. So, FlyWay Film Festival, you're in Pepin, Wisconsin. And
Correct. Pepin and Stockholm.
Yeah, what are Pepin and Stockholm like? Everyone thinks Wisconsin, and they think, okay, what's there? What's there besides cold? Tell us a little bit about the area.
Last year we experienced all 4 seasons over the 4 days of the festival. So we're located roughly an hour and a half from downtown Minneapolis on the Mississippi River. We're on a wide spot on the Mississippi River called Lake Pepin. And they're two great small towns. Really at our core, we're a burgeoning arts community. We have lots of folks that have relocated into the hills around Pepin and Stockholm in old farmhouses that have moved out of big cities because studio space and loft space was too expensive. So there are a lot of people that have bought up a lot of the old farmhouses in the area and created art studios out of outbuildings and barns. So it's an interesting, very unique area. We have a lot of weekend folks from Minneapolis and St. Paul that have weekend homes in the area. So it's a little bit of a tourist-based economy, but lots of very interesting folks. And I constantly get comments from people that come to visit, filmmakers and musicians, that are amazed by the community. It's very unlike any small town in the Midwest.
Yeah, and I know when I go to a film festival, especially one that's takes place over a series of days, you end up staying in town, staying at a hotel, stuff like that. Sometimes you're at the festival most of the time, but occasionally also, you're going. You want to go out and do something, and sometimes it's nice to know what kind of the town has to offer, because maybe you don't always, you're going to be in the town, you want to experience a little bit of the culture, especially if you've traveled. It's kind of like, it's going to your first film festival in New York City or something like that. It's like you want to see the Empire State Building, or you want to see, go down to 30 Rock, or go to Staten Island and visit Jerry Cavallaro, our good friend and co-host here. No, that's good to know. Now you have something else kind of interesting and a little bit different in terms of what film festivals normally do. You have a Kickstarter project going on right now. Kickstarter, you're trying to raise some cash. What's that all about? And why, tell me why, pitch me and the audience why we should give you some cash, some cold hard cash.
It's as simple as we don't have gigantic corporate sponsors. Mm-hmm. We depend on the small businesses in the area and the community support to support the festival monetarily in a major way. And like a lot of artists and even other businesses in the last couple of years, fundraising has been tough. We decided to undertake a Kickstarter to market ourselves in a way that we thought that other filmmakers, artists, and movie lovers would support it. And to date, I think we've done really well.
Nice.
In fact, we're over 50% funded in the Kickstarter, and once we hit that $5,000 goal, we have a very generous benefactor that's agreed to match the Kickstarter campaign. So the $5,000 that the community and filmmakers around the country and indeed around the world help us raise to make sure that FlyWay happens in a way that everybody that's worked so hard to put the festival together wants it to happen. To get our goal, we'll be able to do things this year that we may not have been able to do in the past. And I think it's a testament to the filmmaking community that a lot of filmmakers that have been to FlyWay in the past have committed to become backers, and that the community at large has stepped up and contributed in a big way. And it's gratifying to see. I think it means we're on the right track. Whether we feel Kickstarter is a tool that we'll use to assist us in fundraising after this year, I don't know. But I think in some ways it's validation that we're doing something right. The fact that we've gotten to where we are at this point, and that I think we're well on our way to reaching our goal.
Excellent. Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We can't do it without the support of the community at large. And every dollar counts, and we value every dollar that people have pledged and backed.
Yeah, and for those of you guys out there who are wondering where to get it, you go to Kickstarter.com and just do a search for the title is Feed Your Dreams, the 2010 FlyWay Film Festival, and I'll have Jerry put a link in the chat for us if we could. Jerry, if you can get on that. Let's get them even further along in their goal. And even if you don't have the money to give to them right now, tweet them out, Facebook them. Maybe someone can give them $20 or $1, $20, $25, whatever. It'll be good stuff. I actually want to get in on this a little bit myself. One thing I'm going to do, and hopefully, now, do you guys give out any prizes to filmmakers or anything like that for, do you guys have like an awards thing or anything of that nature?
Oh yeah, we do definitely. On Thursday night at the opening party, we give out the jury award for the what we think are the best of the fest in terms of all the films and filmmakers that we want to honor. Again, and it's a community-supported thing. We've got a local artist that creates the awards each year for FlyWay, and so the filmmakers that get their awards get to go home with a legitimate piece of FlyWay art that is traditionally a piece of granite in the shape of an axe, and that's a really long and involved story that involves filmmaker Bill Elverman. So you'll have to have him on sometime and have him explain it to you. I'll have to. And now, because you definitely have these prizes, some awards that you're giving out.
FilmSnobbery, we really try to support both filmmakers and other businesses and entities that support filmmakers as well. And so what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to donate myself here. I'm going to donate 2 copies of Final Draft for you to give away at your festival, as well as I'm going to try for 3 copies. 3 copies of Sony Vegas editing software, Sony Vegas Pro 9. We're sponsors sponsors of FilmSnobbery, and we're, as they say, we're passing the savings on to you. So I'll get in contact with you after the show at some point, and we'll arrange that, and I'll basically get you. Basically that's us, in a non-monetary way sponsoring you guys, and hopefully you guys will be able to give that to some filmmakers who can use it, and hopefully that helps somebody out.
No, we'd love to. These are the filmmakers that we're trying to support, the real, true indie filmmakers, the guys that are working hard, that are putting all their blood, sweat, and tears into their project, and in some cases maybe even mortgaging their houses to get their film made.
Yeah. And I actually just got a message in our chat room a couple minutes ago from Mojave44, who's her name's Michelle, who's a fan of the show and a fan of you guys. She said that she actually donated to your Kickstarter earlier today. So. Oh yeah, I think I saw that notification come through. Yeah. So thank you, Michelle. We really appreciate it, and we will honor every dollar of your backing. Excellent. And I want to thank you again, Rick, for making time for us here. I just want to throw out a couple of quick things out there. Again, the FlyWay Film Festival, if you want to get more information, you can go to flywayfilmfestival.org. You can also find them on twitter.com/flywayfilmfest. The FlyWay Film Festival is running October 21st through the 24th, and Rick seems like a good stand-up guy there, and I really appreciate him. I really appreciate festivals like FlyWay Film Fest that are trying to keep the costs down for the filmmakers. They're trying to keep, but trying to still give as much back to the filmmakers and give them that kind of big, for lack of a better term, big city kind of festival experience. They can go home with an award. They can go and they can get their stuff screened at a nice, a good venue. And just out of curiosity, what I know this gets a little technical, Rick, but what is the general what are the formats that you guys accept for films? Are you running Blu-ray, hard drives? Is it Digibeta? Is it just regular DVD?
HD Cam, Digibeta. Although I've been trying to discourage filmmakers from sending us exhibition copies on Digibeta, Blu-ray, and we've got a great technology partner that's willing to help us. So the only thing we can't do is film, because we're screening at 2 temporary venues, and we don't have 35 millimeter projections, but maybe someday down the road.
That's okay.
We'll be able to do that.
You could just spin that. You just spin that as an all-digital film festival. Mostly.
Yeah.
But except for the Digibeta. No. Yeah. My head hurts today. But again, I want to thank you. We're going to leave. We're actually going to leave you tonight with, and leave our audience tonight. Leave the interview of the audience tonight with the pitch video for your Kickstarter project. Again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want everyone else out there, if you're a filmmaker, there's no reason why you shouldn't be submitting to this festival because it's free. And it's Wisconsin, it's kind of right there in the middle of the country. You can kind of go, if you're on the East Coast, easy to get to, West Coast, easy to get to. You just take a plane, you're good to go. Plane, donkey, something like that. And
canoe. You can take canoe.
You could take the canoe. Put wheels on it if you need to go on the road. So I want to go, and I want to thank Rick for coming on. I want to go now. I'm going to cut to the Kickstarter clip for their Kickstarter project. So we'll be right back with. We're going to come back actually with our good friend Brittany J. Colangelo from dayofwoman.com, and we're going to talk about some indie horror or some horror in general. So we'll be right back. Ryan, roll that crap.
Hi. I'm Rick Vaicious, the founder and executive director of the FlyWay Film Festival. We're in our third year here in Stockholm and Pepin, Wisconsin, and what we've got going on we think is really cool. We thought we'd start a Kickstarter campaign to help fund filmmaker travel, hospitality, and some of the basic operations of the film festival. We don't have any gigantic corporate sponsors. We depend on the generosity and the kindness of the small business people in our community and people like you, filmmakers and film lovers from all over the country and indeed all over the world. We've got great things planned for the 2010 FlyWay Film Festival, and we need your support. So we ask you to participate in our Kickstarter plan, take advantage of some of our little perks and premiums, like a sailboat ride on this beautiful 31-foot sloop Messenger owned by Captain Dave Sheridan, and come on out to Pepin and Stockholm October 21st through the 24th. And enjoy some truly outstanding independent cinema. Our seats are here waiting for you, and we just need your support to make it happen. Thanks a lot, and we hope to see you in October.
How you doing? My name is Bill Elderman. I'm an actor, writer, independent filmmaker based out of Wisconsin, and I'm here today to chat with you a little bit about FlyWay Film Festival in Pepin, Wisconsin. 2 years ago, FlyWay was launched on the banks of the Mississippi River during the peak of fall color season, and I at the same time had just wrapped up my directorial debut, a short film titled The Wintress, and it was a great honor, one of the greatest honors I've had as involved in the filmmaking community yet, to have my film debuted at a festival in my home state. It's something I'll never forget, and it's something I'm continually grateful to FlyWay for. FlyWay is a bit of a unique festival in that it is one of the few that does not charge an entry fee for its filmmakers, and that does not mean in any way, shape, or form that it's a lower quality of films you see there. Rick and his team go to great efforts to make sure that the films that they present at their festival are of the highest quality. In addition to the high quality films, as a filmmaker and as an actor, I have not had an experience as entirely gratifying as that I experienced at FlyWay. The audience, the community were extremely welcoming, had great Q&A sessions, great feedback on all the films there. It was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in the filmmaking industry, and I will forever be grateful to that festival for that experience. And that's why I'm talking to you here today. As you know, festivals, there's a lot of time and effort, blood, sweat, tears, resources, and even money that goes into putting them on. And the FlyWay team has done it each of the last 2 years without having entry fees, and we'd like to keep it that way. I think filmmakers would love to be able to submit to a festival without having to write a check for $30, $40, $50. And there's an integrity, I think, in having a festival that doesn't charge an entry fee. To that end, this year, FlyWay Film Festival has launched a Kickstarter campaign to help cover some of the expenses for the festival and the resources that go into making it such a great, intimate, interactive festival. And I'm here today to throw my full weight, for what it's worth, behind the festival and encourage you to do the same. If you believe in the creative arts, if you believe in doing things on a community level where you can interact with and experience things in ways that aren't quite possible with the studio system and with large budget films and whatnot, I wholeheartely urge you to get involved with FlyWay. I know they've put together a great list of perks here for their backers, and I certainly hope that we can band together to help them reach their goal. And certainly if you're a filmmaker, I can't encourage you anymore to submit your film for consideration there. And if you do get accepted, make sure it's a festival that you attend. There won't be another experience like it. It's a very welcoming, intimate, thankful community, and it's one that I'll take with me as we continue this adventure through the indie filmmaking world. So, Rick and everyone at FlyWay, thank you for what you've meant to me, and good luck with the Kickstarter launch. I'm very excited for FlyWay 2010, and good luck on your goal. Thanks, everybody.
Hey everyone, we're back. I want to welcome back to the show our good friend BJC from dayofwoman.com. So.
Hello there. As Nick said, I am Brittany J. Colangelo, also known as BJC, and I am a bit of a horror journalist, monopolizer. I write for a bunch of different sites, but you can check out mine at dayofwoman.com, or you can feel free to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter name is BrittanaJade, BrittanaJade. I love Twitter followers. I love it, love it, love it, so follow me. Or add me on Facebook. I love new friends. I'm currently broadcasting to you from my dorm room, so if the internet goes out for once, it's actually not FilmSnobbery's fault. It's probably mine because I go to a state school, and if anyone knows what the economy is like in Illinois, thanks to good old former Governor Rod Blagojevich, you can understand how crappy my internet works.
Rod Blagojevich!
Along with that, I am also ridiculously sick, so if I cough or sneeze or sound like I have 10 pounds of Play-Doh up my nose, do not be alarmed. I'm just under the weather. I'm going to talk about some indie horror today, and the first thing I want to talk about is the I Spit on Your Grave remake. For those of you who don't know, I Spit on Your Grave's original running title was Day of the Woman, which is the website, or which is the film that my website is named after. So obviously it has a very, very special place in my heart. So when I first found out that it was being remade, I was really upset. Not only does it have a place in my heart, but it's also one of the original 1970s video nasties, where a lot of films, whether mainstream or indie, I Spit on Your Grave was an indie film from the 70s. They were deemed so gruesome, so awful that they were banned and edited, and there are still some countries, I know England, for example, can't see the full version of the film without 3 minutes or so being cut out.
Yeah,
so this was an indie film that has made a huge impact and has completely redone what it means to have a rape revenge film, and sort of is the grandfather, or the grandmother, I should say, of all rape revenge films. So anyway, an indie film company, I guess you could call it that, has remade it. It's done. You can see it at film festivals across the country. I know it was at Fantasia Fest not that long ago. But you can see the remake of it. I personally have seen it. I got a copy of the script before production even started, and I'm not happy with it. So this is going to be a bit of a rant, so bear with me. I really, really hate this whole remake trend. At first I was okay with it. I thought it was acceptable that we were remaking films because I love bringing old films to wider audiences. For example, if it wasn't for, My Bloody Valentine 3D, 90% of people in my age bracket, because yes, I'm only 20 years old, would have never known that My Bloody Valentine even existed. So in that sense, I approve of remakes. However, there are some films that really just shouldn't be touched. I consider I Spit on Your Grave to be one of those films. Not only is it incredibly impacting, but it was so far ahead of its time and so real, especially for the 70s, that it's something that I really don't believe should have ever been touched. Because we now live in a society that isn't like the 70s, where we can't get away with everything. I mean, in the original film, she kills a mentally handicapped person who rapes her. If that would have been kept in the film that they have now, it would never have seen a theater screen at all, because we're so PC about just about everything that it's become so conflicting to artists that you have to, play the game just to get anything published anymore. I mean, the only time you ever do get away with it is when you're Lars von Trier and you create something so insane just to create something insane. So that being said, the new version, I think, is completely watered down and completely worn out, and I wasn't happy with it at all. And it turned an extremely impacting and powerful feminist horror film into, just your typical popcorn film filled with crazy kills and lots of gore, and I thought that it was completely unnecessary and ridiculous. So this always gets me thinking, what if you make an indie film, horror, drama, comedy, anything? What if you make an indie film and somebody chooses to remake it years down the road? Well, are you going to choose to get yourself involved with it in order to make some extra cash, or are you going to let your creative work of art stand? I mean, the creator of the original film did produce this remake, and part of me really believes that it's only because he wanted to make some money, because his original film is a flawed masterpiece, and this new one is just complete and utter garbage. Now, and it makes me very sad.
Do you feel that... Do you feel
There's
that...
a question for... Oops, sorry.
Sorry, no. Go ahead. No, please, go ahead. I just wanted to...
Oh, no, you
my comment, actually my question, I have a question and a comment. The comment is that it seems like I Spit on Your Grave did to the original movie as the new Fame did to the original one. Like, they took out all the grit, all the grime, and the nudity, and all the really kind of the anything that made that story interesting back in the 80s, and in this case I Spit on Your Grave in the 70s, and it modernized it, but in modernizing it they made it they watered it down just like everything else is now. And do you find that's my comment on it, and do you find that that's a true statement?
Oh, definitely a true statement, and it makes me sick, honestly. I think that we as a society can't handle anything anymore. Mm-hmm. And what's so frustrating about it is that everything gets watered down and everything gets sugar-coated, and yet all we do is complain about how something was too boring or something wasn't good enough. Well, what do you want? Either it's too gory and you can't handle it, or it's too boring. People just need to learn to let filmmakers and producers and everybody make what they want to make, and let them have that.
And it's funny, Jerry Jerry just brought up something in the chat room that I actually just had in my head I was going to bring up as well, and probably interrupt you again. He said, what about the Toxic Avenger remake? You look at Lloyd Kaufman, and they're doing that. They did the remake of Mother's Day, the Charlie Kaufman's Mother's Day. They did Charlie Kaufman, yeah. They did all that. So do you think that it's more of a horror genre type of thing, where like it's easier to remake horror because they just did the remake of Friday the 13th, they did the remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street, and all these My Bloody Valentine and Prom Night and all these. I mean, they've done all these different remakes. Do you think it's just a lot? I mean, yeah, they did Fame, but let's put that to the side for a second. But do you think that was kind of horrible? But do you think it's easier to do that with horror than it is with any other genre? I mean, no one's remaking Terms of Endearment. You know what I mean? The only thing you'll get is you'll get a remake of Pride and Prejudice every other year. That's what you'll get.
I think that it's not necessarily easier to remake a horror film, but the people that are making horror films, deep down, we're all a bunch of horror fan geeks. That's what we are. Would I kill to be able to be the 50-foot woman? Of course. That would be my dream role, would be to be the 50-foot woman just completely attacking Chicago this time. Like, I would love to do that. Whereas if you're, really into chick flicks, I highly doubt you're thinking, oh my gosh, do you know how awesome it would be to remake Pretty Woman? It wouldn't go over nearly as well. Whereas in horror, you can say, well, we're going to do Piranha 3D. And everyone's like, yeah, gore, more fun. And I also think that the horror industry right now is extremely lazy and extremely unwilling to accept new ideas because we're in kind of a funk right now where the new millennium doesn't necessarily have a particular genre. Like, the 80s were infamous for their slasher films. The 90s were all about just, honestly, essentially even more slasher films, but they were like the teenage college slasher films, like Blue Screams and then I Know What You Did Last Summer. They kind of used the same stock characters. 70s was more like sex and slashers and
I think they started out in the early new millennium, the 2000s, early 2000s. It's almost like for then it was gore porn. It was Saws, it was Hostel, it was Saw, Hostel, and like Cabin Fever and movies that really brought on the gore and brought on the most creative kills that they could do. And it seems like that, with the exception of a new Saw every Halloween, it seems like they've gone away from that. And now it is, like, they remade Halloween, they remade Friday the 13th, and they remade Nightmare on Elm Street. So they've got the big three done. So what's next after that? Now, and that actually leads me into the next movie that you're going to talk about, which is another remake, but this time it's not from this country, it's from overseas. So why don't we talk about that a little bit?
I personally believe that Let the Right One In, the Swedish vampire film from 2008, is perfect. I don't say that about many films. I say that maybe Star Wars, The Shining, Godfather Part 2. That's really about it. Let the Right One In, the original one, I believe, is perfect. And this is coming from somebody who is obsessed with the film, who's obsessed with the novel, and who, if you look on my iTunes, even the 3-second long song on the score is played more than anything else on my playlist on iTunes. I'm utterly obsessed with it. My first tattoo is going to be it.
Oh, I think think we lost her. I think her thing went down, but she's coming back, right? You may continue.
There's my state school. My first tattoo that I'm going to get is inspired by Let the Right One In. So I'm obsessed with the film. The fact that they're Americanizing what has been deemed the best horror film of the decade by not just me, but countless other websites and critics really bothers me. I understand that Americans, we're kind of lazy. The average American moviegoer does not want to listen to dubbed voices or to read subtitles. I understand that. However, does that mean that a film should be geared towards these kinds of people? I don't necessarily agree. From what I've heard, I've yet to see the remake yet. I decided that I was going to wait until it came out in theaters in October. I wasn't going to see it early because I want the theater experience with my friends who aren't as lucky to go to the festivals like I am. I'm a little nervous, but from what I've heard, people said that it's definitely not the same movie as the original, but it's in no way bad. But the only thing that's really saving it for me is that Chloe Moretz, who played Hit Girl in Kick-Ass, who is by far my favorite child actress at the moment, is playing Abby, who is Ellie in the original. And that's kind of saving it for me. But I can't lie and say that I'm not freaking out about it.
Well, especially
really
because they're not.
It's been 2 years and they're already remaking it. That's ridiculous.
I was just gonna say that. It's not like they're remaking a movie that, like Nightmare on Elm Street that started out 20 years ago. They're remaking them, or 30 years ago. They're remaking a movie that was made 2 years ago.
if I can interject.
One second. Director Ryan would like to interject.
If I can interject, I know we've been talking about horror this entire time. Death at a Funeral? What the fuck? Like, why did they make that movie?
4 times cheers.
That movie, the original, I mean, I had to go to some far out of the way independent cinema to see the original, and it was perfect. I love that movie. And then they released it with Chris Rock.
Yeah, the same thing they did with The Honeymooners, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
I'm going to say something horrible, so I'm done.
Go ahead. You continue, Brittany, and then we're going to wrap it up though, unfortunately. So go ahead. Let's finish it up.
That's fine. So all I was really going to say today, as far as indie films and as far as, you know, let me in and let everyone in, when it comes to remakes, who are we to decide, like, why are we even allowed to remake, I guess is the real question. You know, you don't see people, if somebody tried to remake like A Starry Night or the Mona Lisa, they'd be laughed at. But filmmakers, it seems like we remake crap left and right, and it's never as good. And with the exceptions of maybe The Fly or The Thing, nothing's ever nearly as good as the original, so why do we keep doing it? And I guess that's really all I have to say for today, so I'll leave you with a question to ponder.
All right, well, no, and thank you for the insight on that, because there's definitely a lot of, you know, I mean, we talk about remakes like, you know, the remakes of the past couple of years, but, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, there are a lot of movies that have been remade over the years. There are a few that you have to wonder why haven't they been remade over the years. It's interesting to see. You're right. I mean, art is art, and, you know, whether it's film or whether it's, you know, artist, you know, painting or something like that, you're right. It seems like filmmakers get a pass, and I have to believe that it is less about, I need to bring this new message to a new generation, you know, that I brought to you in the 70s, I have to bring it to you now. I think
I need to ride the wave and make some money.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, but I mean, in Troma's case with, you know, Lloyd Kaufman with the Toxic Avenger and stuff like that, I totally get it. He blew his wad on Poultrygeist. I love me some Lloyd Kaufman, but I mean, they way overspent on that, and it really hurt their business. And I think at this point, you know, they saw that Mother's Day ended up getting, you know, picked up, and they're like, well, wait a minute, we can do this with all our movies. So, you know, it's I think, you know, you know, but if getting that extra money will allow him to create new, better movies, I'm okay with that. Like, if the end justifies the means, I'm okay with it. So that's it. So I want to thank Brittany Jade Colangelo for coming on the show today and giving us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime. We like having you on, and the audience likes having you on, except for the one person who left. But but that's okay. They'll be back. That's the funny part. The funny part is they'll be back next week. So I'm going to wrap it up now on this because we have something else going on next. We have Drunk on Film with the Vocabularist from MovieCynics.com. But if you guys want to see more of Brittany, see more, hear more, read more about her, you can go to www.dayofwoman.com. Be sure to follow her on Twitter. She's at BrittanyJade, and you know, check out her stuff because she's got some pretty good stuff going on, and she's just a sweet girl. Just a sweet little girl. But thank you very much. Good night, Brittany. All right, so folks, we're going to take a quick little commercial break from our good friends at Wirecast, and we will be right back with Mr. Vocabularist from MovieCynics.com. Telestream is a live production tool that allows everyone to easily broadcast live events and create professional webcasts from any location. All you need is a computer and an internet connection. With features that include live chroma keying, streaming from multiple cameras, and built-in titles, Wirecast has everything out of the box to allow your broadcast to look professional. Try their free Windows or Mac demo now at www.telestream.net. And we're back, everybody. I want to welcome to the show our good friend, the Vocabularist from MovieCynics.com, and he's going to give us a new fun little drinking game, a little segment we like to call Drunk on Film. So, hello, sir.
Hello, what's up?
You tell me, sir. What's going on? What are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we're talking about Frozen there.
Frozen?
Frozen. Yeah, have you heard of Frozen?
Oh, I've heard of Frozen. Adam Green, right? Directed by Adam Green?
Yeah, directed by Adam Green. Just in case you didn't know or you haven't been following Adam Green's career, Frozen is his latest film, which showed up in a handful of movie theaters. So it's finally making its way to DVD on September 28th. And I recently had a chance to watch the movie, and it was fantastic. If you weren't a fan of Hatchet or his other movie Spiral, it's definitely different from those, more mature, definitely a different type of horror. It takes advantage of a lot of normal people's fears, heights, freezing to death, being eaten alive, things like that. So it's a little more subtle, a little more tasteful, but with the drinking game, you'll definitely have some fun with it. So here are the rules for the drinking game, which I bumped up to the front page on moviecynics.com, which is my website, just in case you don't know. Here it goes. 1 drink every time someone falls over. 1 drink every time someone smokes. 1 drink every time someone makes a movie reference. And 1 drink every time something falls from a height. And then I have a couple challenges, and these are pretty good challenges. They'll do you in if you so wish. The first one's called the breath of death. Take a drink every time you see someone's breath, which is nice because they're pretty much outside in a frozen setting all night long. Then we have the second challenge, which is the Hard and Kite Tell challenge. Drink continuously every time you see a wolf. Kill your beer when you hear a wolf howl. So,
I like
for those
that.
of you that like movies, you know what the reference is there.
The wolf challenge, yes, I definitely, the Pulp Fiction, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the wolf. I like that. That's a good one.
In addition to Frozen, Adam Green also has Hatchet 2 coming out in a rather small release on October 1st, I believe. EJC was talking about how if a movie like I Spit on Your Grave was remade, they wouldn't even let it in the theaters today, which is probably true, but I like what Adam Green is doing with Hatchet 2, where he's pretty much circumventing the MPAA, which is a great thing, and I would tell anyone that's into horror to go and check it out if you get the chance, if it's playing in one of those 20 markets that they're actually playing it at, which I doubt it will be playing in my market.
And if you guys out there have any inclination to watch Frozen, it actually comes out a little later this month, September 26th, I believe. And if you guys want to support a good website like MovieCynics.com, we highly recommend when you're checking out their review in the movie in the drinking game, you also click on the link to buy the movie and buy it from them, and that will help support Movie Cynics as well, and keep the vocabularists knee deep in hooch. So, got anything else for us tonight? Anything else? How are we doing on our drinking game tonight?
I haven't really been playing it because I've been thinking about what I was going to say, because I like to last things. But I just drink whenever I feel like it. So
that's another way to play the drinking game. Drink whenever. Yeah, little asterisk rule. It's like taking performance enhancers and playing any other sport. It's just like, I'm just going to drink when I feel like it, and then I always win.
Exactly. I could probably do it much better than the game can.
Well, I want to thank you for talking to us about Frozen. That was Frozen got really good. It was very highly spoken about. It was at Sundance last year, right? Not this past year, but the year before, correct? Was it Sundance or Slamdance?
I think it was actually last year.
Was it? Yeah, something like that. It was.
I guess 2009.
Yeah.
2009.
So technically 2 years ago, because the other Sundance just ended a few months ago,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So there we go. So I want to thank you again for coming on the show. Everyone who's not following the Vocabularist, you can follow him on Twitter, of course, at twitter.com/vocabularist. You might have to search for it because the spelling can be a little iffy. But also you can go to, and be sure to follow Movie Cynics, twitter.com/Movie Cynics. That is right? Yeah.
I guess so. I don't... Bobby Bless from that stuff.
Bobby Bless, our good friend Bobby Bless. Let's give a shout out to Bobby. Hey Bobby, how you doing? And you can follow Bobby actually at BobbyBless219 on Twitter. So twitter.com/BobbyBless219. Niner, you talking on a walkie-talkie?
Niner.
So thank you very much, sir, for coming on the show and giving us another awesome drinking game, and thank you for continuing to give us something to do when we're watching the show. To alleviate having to listen to me drone on.
Right on. I got one more thing to say.
Sure.
I know everyone's talking about the remakes and stuff there, and I wish there was some way we could get people on and have an actual dialogue, because I was just dying to say something when BJC was talking about the remakes. And to me, everyone's saying they, but the real problem with the remakes is the fans themselves. It's us, the people that see them. Like everyone's talking about, oh, Clash of the Titans was terrible, but think about how many people actually saw that. On my site, I try to bash you into not seeing stuff that sucks. All right? So I think the onus is on the fans and on movie critics who aren't as opinionated as they should be. If something sucks, you need to tell people not to go see it. People don't do that. And that's part of the problem. I mean, your standard moviegoer, they're just going to be like, oh, the commercial looked cool, I'm going to see it. And then it makes more money, and we keep having loads and loads of garbage in the theater. So shout out to people that actually think for themselves and will not pay for something that obviously sucks.
Yes. And for the rest of you sheeple, tune in to Film Snobbery live every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No, you got a really good point there. You got a good point, and thank you for definitely for coming on and giving us another 5 minutes of quick entertainment and your perspective on stuff, because it is a little different. I like that. Right on, man. So.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. So that, everyone, was a Vocabularies from MovieCynics.com, giving us another drinking game, this time for the movie Frozen by Adam Green. Check out all the cool stuff going on there at MovieCynics.com, and follow them on Twitter and Facebook and all the other fun places. So now we're at the part of the show where we're actually right at the end of the show. But you know what? We started like 2 minutes late. I want to go a couple minutes late here. I want to talk with my good buddy and co-host Jerry Cavallero, who's been awesome taking care of the chat today. I want to talk to him about some stuff. Jerry?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I've been very quiet tonight.
You have been. Thank you for that. So
I know not to step over you. I don't want to steal your thunder.
So let's talk a little bit. You and I were talking for a second. We were talking before the show about you got a message on Facebook, and I want to talk to you about that message and get that out there. And I want you to talk about it. So go ahead.
Sure. I had a rather interesting message today. I was having a good day. I finished my script. I sent it out to some important people. I'll leave it at that. I can't really talk about stuff right now about that. But I was having a good day. And then I got a message on Facebook from some random person, and I started reading it. The message was titled Poser. And here it is because it's very short. Poser, you should totally make it in Hollywood. They need lame-ass fucking pretentious motherfuckers like you making shitty-ass films. But hey, it's all about hype, right? Even if the movie totally blows, you get to rest upon your laurels, director. Why are you not wearing a beret? And it was kind of interesting to receive that message out of the blue because I've never heard of this person before. And so I decided I would see where he's from, how he found me. And apparently, he's been attacking all of the filmmakers and actors and stuff that went to the Orlando Film Festival last year because they rejected his film. So he's been posting really angry comments on the Orlando Film Festival Facebook. He's been attacking them online on various forums, and he's personally emailing filmmakers who won awards at their festival last year and attacking them and telling them that they have shitty films. So I just want to say, do not be like Patrick A. Flanagan. And if you run a festival, blacklist him, because I really think, it kind of shocks me that a filmmaker would attack people that he doesn't know, has never seen their film. I know he hasn't seen my film because he hasn't bought a copy from me, and my film still is not pirated, so he has not seen the film. So just, yeah, don't be like Patrick A. Flanagan. That's my message.
Yeah,
you didn't think I was going to say the name, did you, Nick?
Oh, I knew you would, because you're bringing it.
I think all FilmSnobbery fans should friend him on Facebook.
Jerry or Patrick Flanagan?
Patrick Flanagan.
Actually,
hey,
they should friend me, but they should also friend him. I'll friend him tonight. And then you can go to my page and you can see the correct spelling and you can friend him. But I was really kind of surprised. He actually posted on the Orlando Film Festival. This might be a better way. You go to the Orlando Film Festival Facebook and you'll see some of his negative comments, such as, let me get the exact comment, because it was actually pretty funny.
Is he on IMDb?
He was commenting.
I want to know.
I'm not even sure. I didn't look up that far because it came right just before we started talking. But
interesting. All right. So
I'm trying to find. He left a comment at the Orlando Film Festival, roughly saying someone wrote that the festival was great. So, and the festival posted a video of someone's testimony about how good the festival was. So he wrote, "Yeah, as long as you know whose dick to suck to get in." So I responded to him. I can give you his number if you want. I'm just having fun with this guy. So, yeah, I just found it kind of interesting. So don't be like Patrick A. Flanagan.
Yeah, don't be like Patrick A. Flanagan, because that guy is obviously a fucking douchebag who just doesn't know how to, he can't be a quiet loser. He has to be a big, loud loser. And I know it's like we're bashing someone without even knowing them, but I mean, really, how can you, in any good conscience, send just not anonymous, but send an email to someone or a message to someone that you've never met, accusing them of something that you don't have any first-hand knowledge of, purely because you associated with one of the best film festivals on the East Coast? I think that is, what's the word I'll call it? Bullshit.
Fuck you, Pat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous, and I just don't, yeah, I mean,
we should invite him on the show.
We totally should.
That would be fan-fucking-tastic.
You know what? I don't think he knows I'm associated with you. You should just say that you found him online and invite him on the show, and then we could just attack him on the show.
Jerry from the website the next week or so.
Oh. I don't think we have Jerry on the website anyway. After the whole Stuck Like Chuck Indiegogo debacle, like, I just stay far away from him as possible. No, I'm kidding, Jerry. I'm kidding.
I've actually changed my name, so.
Yes, he's gone back to his Christian name of Jerome.
Yes. I'm going by Jerome Anthony now.
Jerome Anthony.
Yeah, Anthony is my middle name.
Wait.
For everyone that didn't get that, because I've never said that on
Jack. Yeah.
I'm calling him Jack from now on.
Jerome Anthony Caballero. Jack.
Why is this show still going on? What are we talking about?
We're talking about Patrick A. Flanagan and how we really should fuck with him. I really want to now. Just be like, and by the way, it's like a real Jerry Springer moment of it too. Just like, wow, you really have a problem with this. And joining us tonight is Jerry Caballero and Daniel Springen from the Orlando Film Festival.
We should get like everyone. We should get Elias on here, because he attacked Elias too, and Elias responded to him. So you should just bring everyone in on it.
Well, for those of you guys who don't know Elias Plagianos, director of The Crimson Mask. If you can't see the poster, I have a poster up here of The Crimson Mask, and over there of The Waterhole. Nathan, who just defected on us. I just got the message on Twitter that Nathan defected on us to go watch the film show, the Everything Film Show. Really? Really? Last I checked, never mind. I'm going to let it go. So people won't think I'm kidding around after the Patrick Flanagan thing. Patrick Flanagan of 225 East 23rd Street, New York 01855. I don't know. I just totally made that up. I don't fucking.
You know what would have been funny if passively aggressively you just gave everyone Jerry's address? That would be hysterical.
No, Jerry's address is Staten Island. I know what Jerry's address is. I have it, but I'm not going to.
Cutting the show. Nick, say goodnight to everyone.
No, actually, I do want to thank everyone for coming out. I want to, first of all, if you're not following us already, please do. We're twitter.com/FilmSnobbery. If you, we're trying to break 1,000 Facebook followers too, because we're very close. We're at 850 something. Let's do that soon. So Facebook.com/FilmSnobbery if you're not already, if you haven't already liked our fan page there. And I also want to remind everyone, this Sunday we have another special edition of Film Snobbery Live coming up as we continue our First Glance Film Festival month. We're going to have on 2 more filmmakers talking about their films. It's going to be good stuff. For more information on the First Glance Film Festival, you can go to www.firstglancefilm.com. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything at this point. So join us next Thursday as well, when we'll have another guest on, and we'll have some more good times. More good times. So good night, everyone. Have a great week.
Bye.